Hi everyone, my name is Jim Grant. I'm married to Lorraine and we have two daughters, Louise and Lana. Louise is in Munich, married to Christoph, two boys, James and Harris. Lana is local, she lives in Ayr with her partner Andy and she has a daughter called Rose. You may have seen Lorraine and I at Southside with Rose on the odd Sunday when we're babysitting. Rose seems to really enjoy it. When we were asked to do this, I had a think about the COVID period and lockdown, and we've been very, very busy during that period, but in the quiet times, I've had a chance to reflect on God's hand in my life. As a Christian now, I believe that God has a plan for all of us and He's in total charge of our lives. So I had to think about, the incidents with God throughout my life. Lorraine and I got married many years back, and religion left a sour taste in our mouth because we were from opposite sides of the kind of denominational sectarian divide. Neither family were happy, but we wanted to be together, so we got married anyway. Didn't want anything to do with God or religion, so we just got on with our life. Now at that time I lived in Alva and worked in Grangemouth, and there was one day I was going over to work, I was late, I was in a hurry, and there's a B road that took a shortcut to Alloa, and it involved a straight road, a humpback bridge and then a blind left hand bend, and I was going far too fast because I was late and in a hurry, and I was on the straight but just before the bridge, and a voice, it was as if it was in the back seat of my car, clear as day, said, "Slow down." So I jumped on the brakes, got over the bridge, and as I hit the bend there was a combine harvester completely across the road, blocking the whole road. And because I had jumped on the brakes and slowed down in response to the voice, I managed to get up on the verge and get round the combine harvester. So that could have been serious injury or maybe even worse. I now know that that was God's voice speaking to me and saved my life that day. So we got on with life. I was involved with the family business, as I said, and that wasn't going so well. So Lorraine suggested, why don't I go back as a mature student? So I did that and I graduated in IT. And the first job that I got offered was in Ayr, so we moved the family here and we settled in. Lorraine got a job in the local surgery, met Susan Nason, became a Christian through Susan, Purpose Driven Life, Alpha and Southside. So Lorraine was going to church fairly regularly, and she was asking me every week if I would go with her, and I was saying no, that's not for me, it's for you. Fair enough, you go. And also there was a motorcycle club at my work that went away on Sundays, and decided that I would join that. So my Sunday mornings were, when the weather allowed, we were away on the bikes. So didn't stop Lorraine asking me every Saturday night to come to church on Sunday. So this particular Saturday, the weather forecast happened to be on when Lorraine asked me if I'd come to Southside. Now the forecast was saying absolutely brilliant, not a cloud anywhere, no rain forecast. It's going to be a fantastic day, so I'm thinking, looking forward to going out the bike tomorrow. So I said, yeah, okay, if it's raining tomorrow morning, I'll come to church with you. So I toddled off to bed all smug, thinking, that was a good one, I've gotten out of that well. However, I got up Sunday morning and the rain was absolutely teeming down. And I didn't go out on the bike when the weather was wet anyway. So I thought, okay, fair enough, a deal's a deal. I'll come along to this church and see what it's like. So at that time Southside was in Belmont. So I went along and I hadn't experienced church like that ever. It was traditional church I had been brought up with. So when I saw people excited and happy and enjoying praising God, and also the great worship music, kind of opened my eyes a bit. I thought, this is completely different, and I did enjoy it. So I started going along, and because I did enjoy it, probably more because of the music at that point, but however I continued doing that. So about 3 or 4 weeks in, one of the guys at my work, who was one of the biker guys, he used to buy all the motorbike magazines and he would give them to me after he'd read them. So this particular day, he came in with about a dozen and he said, "There you go, Jim, take them." So I piled them into my rucksack because I was using the bike to commute. So I got home that night and I opened the rucksack and tipped it up, and all the magazines, all the biking magazines fell out. And the one in the top opened a page, an article about Christian bikers. So out of the possible 100 articles in all those magazines, it opened an article on Christian bikers. So I thought to myself, this is interesting, Christian bikers out of all the articles. So that night Lorraine went out, she was out meeting one of her friends, and it was just myself and the dog in the house. And the dog was on his mat, sound out for the count. So I went upstairs and I was thinking about all this, and for the first time in many years, I got down on my hands and knees, I closed my eyes and I started to pray. It was the summertime, so I only had a t-shirt on, I had bare arms. And I said, "God, if you're real, give me a sign." And there was a feeling like a hand on my arm, a touch on my arm. And I opened my eyes in surprise and I looked around, nobody in the room. And I thought, was that the dog? So I ran downstairs. No, the dog was still in the same position, sound asleep. So I thought to myself, wow, this is just, it's mind blowing. And that was a turning point for me. I realised then that God was real and he was clearly speaking to me. So I decided I would do an alpha course, and I did that, really enjoyed it. I got involved in mission at Southside and we went to Juarez in Mexico, which was an amazing experience. And for a long time, 9 years to be honest, I was involved with Broken Chains. So life went on and things were going really, really well. So this particular Sunday, one of the guys on the biking gang at my work phoned me. It was in October, so it was towards the end of the year, and he said to me, "Forecast for Sunday's good, it's the kind of last day we're going to get out, you fancy coming along?" So I said to Lorraine, "Okay, I'd like," and Lorraine says, "Yeah, that's fine, I'll go to church." So away we went, and we were going to Oban that particular day. There was 3 of us, and I was in the middle of the 3, and it started to get a bit, the guy in the front started to get a bit quicker, and the macho thing kind of kicked in. I was keeping up with him, and the guy behind me was pushing me, so guy in the front disappeared over a dip in the road, didn't see a brake light, so I thought, oh, well, it's a straight road. So I went over the dip, and unfortunately it wasn't a straight road, it was a hairpin, and I failed to negotiate. And I only remember flying through the air, not on my bike, and I landed face down in the thickest bramble bush you've ever seen. And my bike was lying in the field further down in a mangled heap. And when I got back from that accident after a short time in Lochern Head Hospital, Lorraine had asked me, I was reading Word for Today at the time, and Lorraine had asked me if I had read my Word for Today that day, and I said no, I hadn't. And she says, "Well, go and read it." So I've kept the actual extract from that Word for Today on the 16th of October 2004. And what it says is, "Do you realise that without God's hand on your life, you wouldn't be here today? David said, He protects us from death. The reason you weren't killed in that accident today was that God's work with you is incomplete." Now that just blew me away. I've still got it. It still makes the hairs in the back of my neck stand up that God would speak to me so clearly. And one of the things, the work I was doing, that I believe God wanted me to continue, was Broken Chains. I did that a long time with my friend Ingalls, and we were involved in the worship. There was a song that became a kind of anthem for Broken Chains. So I would like to sing a couple of verses of that for you now, if that's okay. Jesus on the main line, tell him what you want. Jesus on that main line, tell him what you want. Jesus on that main line, tell him what you want. Jesus on that main line now. If you want salvation, tell him what you want. If you want salvation, tell him what you want. If you want salvation, tell him what you want. Jesus on that main line now. If you want forgiveness, tell him what you want. If you want forgiveness, tell him what you want. If you want forgiveness, tell him what you want. Jesus on that main line now. Jesus on that main line now. Thanks for listening, everybody, and I hope to see you all at church very, very soon. God bless.